So it's been a week since I last filmed, and I'm finally getting to the stage of stripping it back. Got myself some paint stripper over here. Don't know how well this goes, but should be pretty good once it's all stripped back. Alright, so it says to scuff up the surface, so I'll just give that, just go at it now. No, because you want that paint stripper to bite in. I've given this a quick sand back now, so the paint stripper could at least have a chance of biting into the paint and working properly. And time for the paint stripper now, so let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Don't mind the brown colour, that's just whatever crap's left in the paintbrush. That's just stripping all that back. The paint stripper has done its magic. It's bubbled up all the paint. Hopefully this side gets off a bit easier. Oh, look at that. Like yogurt. Bloody hell. Oh, that's satisfying. Look at that. Just scoops her up. That's perfect. Yummy. I've scraped back as much paint as I could with the first coat. Still got to do a second coat to get all the remaining paint off at least. I've found a bit of bog, as I said earlier. She's looking pretty good so far. Just got to get the second layer of paint stripper on and we'll be all good. So we've done the majority today. We've sanded her back, stripped it all back down to bare metal. We still need to do a bit of work to it. The majority of it's done, but tomorrow we'll be sanding down the cowl and doing the same thing as well. So do the same all tomorrow. So it's the second day. Time to do it all over again. This time taking the cowl off and giving a nice rough sanding. Not stripping it all the way back though, because the paint on it is pretty good and it just needs a light scuff, or a decent scuff, and then she'll be ready for some primer. So let's get to it. You always got to be careful when taking these off, so you just gently pry her out slowly, like so. Otherwise you might end up breaking it like that, which I did a few years back, which sucks. So managed to find some other ones from the wreckers. Gotten the cowl off now, and the surface is pretty much smooth. You just got a light little chips here and there, but nothing but a good sand won't fix. Also got to take out my amazing leaf guard, stop the leaves from churning inside. and creating more rust holes down there. But yeah, this should be not too hard to sand down, and shouldn't take as much time as this. It took quite a while to sand all the way back down. So let's get to it. Time to give her a sand up. Oh, it feels so bad. So a few days have passed now. I'm up to the body filling part. Gotta fix that hole. Gotta get rid of this rust so it's nice clean surface, and put a thin layer of body filler just to fill in all the pit holes or the pitting in the metal. So let's get to it. For the bog, you want to make sure you mix it up decently well if it's been sitting around for a while like this one has. Make sure it's a consistent colour. Give her a stir around with a screwdriver or whatever. So for the thing I'm going to mix on, I've just got a bit of checker plate, bit of baking paper I stole from the kitchen, and that works pretty well for mixing the bog on because it doesn't stick to the baking paper and you can easily just rip it off once you're done. When it comes to adding your hardener, I just normally chuck a bead along the width of the amount of bog you have. It just seems to work. You get the right amount or whatever. So just like that. That might be a little too much for that amount, but you could probably add a bit more. So it all depends on how much bog you have. For the rust hole, I won't be using normal car filler to fill it. I'll be using this stuff called Need It, which is basically underwater seal stuff, which is like bog that looks like this that you get in the tube. It's just like 10 times stronger and it's waterproof, so I'll be using this. Got to make sure the surface is clean, so I've got some wax and grease remover on this rag and just give her a wipe down now. Look at that, that's all that gunk that was going to be trapped in there if we started bogging. When it comes to filling the hole, just grab the Need It, and it's basically like Play-Doh. You just mix in the green with the white until it becomes one shade of grey white goodness. You might want to add a bit of water on your fingers to make it stop sticking, but that's what it's supposed to look like. And then you just chuck her in the hole. And then you can just sand it once it's hardened, which doesn't take long. So when you're mixing your bog, you just want to flatten her out like this. That is a lot of hardener. I shouldn't have done that much. Should have added a bit more bog, but I guess you learn. It's going to harden up real fast. So when you're mixing, just flatten her out. Don't do a stirring motion because you want to get all the air bubbles and whatnot out of it. Just keep going at it. Oh yeah, that is a lot of hardener. Just get the amount of bog you need and just slap her on. It's going to add a thick layer just to get good coverage. Oh yeah, that's a lot of hardener. It's already hardened up real fast. No, that's not good. Yeah. Looks like I have to mix up another batch. That is tragic. So you can probably tell by now that I'm not the best at laying down body filler. Like I lay down too much for what I really need it for. so that causes me to do a lot more sanding than necessary, but that's the pain I'm willing to take to get a decently smooth lower lip. Oh, I did not come prepared with the right sandpaper as well. That is tragic. So I'll probably take a trip down to Bunnings and find myself some sandpaper. So, yep, good fun. Sandpaper has been acquired. How do you cut your sandpaper? Yep. The bog stage is finally over after a bit of sanding, and I'm just getting this blade putty stuff. It's like thinner bog, basically, and I'm just going over all the spots to make sure to fill in all the little pinholes and all the scratches, and sand it back and make it real smooth. But yeah, I'm up to that stage now. It is bloody hot. Like, it doesn't look, or it probably does look hot, but it's toasty, man, and I'm sweating balls out here. Good stuff. So the hole's now completely filled in with that kneaded stuff, and then you got the Bondo for you Americans around it, and then there's the slither of kneaded, all that putty stuff. So that's worked like a charm. No more hole anymore. That's good. So after a bit of sanding, a lot more sanding, I've gotten the bog job pretty much the best as I can. It's pretty tragic. As you can see there's pinholes galore, but it'll do. Since he's just going on the lower part of the car, no one will fully see it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just in case you're wondering, I've gotten the cowl all sanded down, ready for some primer. Didn't want to bore you with more sanding footage of this. So this is basically ready for some primer now and paint. So I'm just going to hit this with a bit of primer on the edges. Bit of edge primer, just to protect it a little more while it's waiting on the final coat of primer. So I'm going to try something here. I'm going to spray some primer on it to see how well I actually am at bogging panels. It'll either come up really smooth or really wavy. Either way, it's going to show imperfections like these pinholes that I couldn't get to. But oh well, let's see how it goes. The primer is spoken, and it is shown that our bog job is not that great. We got pinholes up here galore. Over here is not that bad, but where the hole is, where it once was like there, it is good-ish. Little pinholes, but it is better than what it was, so that's at least a win. But for this side, it could be better. Like, no one's really gonna notice, but I do, so gotta fix it. And this scratch down here, oh, shocking. Done a bit more work. I've got that glazed putty and just skimmed it over all the pinholes. Gave it a good light sand, or as smooth as I could. And then hopefully, when I paint it, it should look smooth and no pinholes. Just gotta wait and see, I guess. So the past few days I've been going at it, sanding, but today we got it completely, or mostly done. We've bogged it, sanded it, gotten most of the dings out of it, which I didn't show because I didn't want to bore you guys with that, but majority's done, and it's just ready for paint at this point. And then the other piece over there is also ready, so stay tuned for more content coming your way. Oh, look at that lizard. See, we zoom in on Ooh. Damn, that zoom. Bro, he's vibing.